Hey, what's up, guys? Je suis votre host, Ray Antonio, baby. Yellow Sea Podcast, le podcast le plus diversifié au Québec. Et on le fait en 2 langues. Le prochain épisode va être en anglais, un peu de bilingue. Vous allez voir comment on fait à Montréal. Mon prochain invité, je vous le présente, le prof, l'afro-keb, Chad Ashe, un artiste. Premièrement, on a parlé de racisme, vraiment, comment lui a grandi dans une famille aussi qu'il pouvait en avoir, mais aussi sa relation avec ses ancêtres. On parle du système scolaire, comment on pourrait mieux encadrer nos enfants pour qu'ils aient plus, une façon d'apprendre qui va être plus avantageuse pour eux. Par la suite, on vous parle de fitness, on vous parle de la musique, on vous parle de la game. Donc, qu'est-ce que vous allez voir avec Chad Ashe et on commence le show. Yo, imagine if Canada has its own island. Yo, that island will be trash. It will become trash, unfortunately.
Why?
Because, like, at the moment, you tell Canadians, oh, there's an island, the Sun, Caribbean, that I can go without a passport. Like,
you need a passport, but just, no, actually, no.
No, you don't. It's our country. We own that.
Shit.
We bought it out of our taxes. I think that would be, you know, unfortunately, I'm going to be very selfish on this one, but you know we're putting a lot of money into Ukraine. Like we could take that money and just buy one of those islands.
Absolutely, that would be.
Is that too selfish?
Better. No.
To self-indulge on pleasure, meanwhile other people are struggling. I mean, Canadians, guys, you guys are Canadian, have a passport Canada. What should happen? Should we send out more money, more arm, more like weapon, artillery to Ukraine?
Terrible idea.
Or we let the states take care of that, and us, we buy an island. The states already have
we buy an island, and we have resorts for Canadians, and we can go there 3 times a month, 3 times a year. It's great.
3 times a
3 times a month.
No, the idea was 3 times a month. Shit, every weekend then.
Every weekend,
other
like,
weekend.
at least once a weekend, you can.
What
just
do you
go.
think? I think it would be an amazing idea. I would be patriotic.
Yes.
If we get to make that move.
Let's go. We need to get Trudeau out.
You ready for that? Guys, as you saw, this is our beginning snippet. Would you buy an island or keep putting weapons to other countries? We're not the world police. Let the other guys do it. But for this podcast, I got my man over here that we've just been following up alone for quite a while. Le prof afro-keb, Chad Ashe. Welcome, Yellow Sea.
Merci beaucoup, man. Merci beaucoup d'être ici, man. Je suis vraiment content, man.
Ça fait longtemps qu'on en parle. Ça fait longtemps qu'on en parle. Je suis content que tu es venu. Comme, guys, you're going to see this is going to be something of a bilingual podcast.
On va faire du franglais.
And you know what?
And right.
Me, I was looking forward to doing more in English because, like, I like who I am, my personality. Maybe I have like some troubled personality in which I'm a certain way in English, but when I switch to French, I'm something else. I don't know.
I feel the same way.
You feel?
Ouais, pour vrai. J'ai genre 2 personnalités. One in French, puis un en anglais.
Because my English side is like, it's thug. My English side is gangster.
Yeah. Mais mon côté français aussi.
Il est québécois. Mon français est québécois.
I was raised by like wild Quebecers, so.
So tell me about your background.
So basically, me, I'm Afro-Canadian.
Yes.
My dad's Afro-Canadian. My mom's half Haitian, half Quebecer. But she never knew her father, so we grew up in a Quebec household.
Oh.
Like séparatiste, genre Québec 101, no English.
And you were the black kid.
We were the black kids. Like, I have cousins that are racist. They're straight up
I would
racist.
imagine. Yeah, of course.
So like, that's how I grew up. So that's why I'm l'afro-keb. Because I'm really like, I'm Afro-Canadian, mais je suis aussi québécois. Fait que c'est encore plus deep.
C'est quoi le côté africain? D'où il vient?
Il y a pas, comme dans le fond, c'est les esclaves, the slaves that were in Africa during the Atlantic slave trade, sont venus aux États-Unis. Puis après ça, il y avait le choix, soit de rester aux États-Unis, puis faire de l'esclavage, ou venir au Canada, où est-ce que les Anglais avaient aboli les lois d'esclavage. They abolished slavery. Fait que mes ancêtres, ils ont décidé de venir au Canada. So, moi, ça fait comme genre 4-5 générations qu'on est ici.
Oh, shit, right. So, oh, shit, that's
fin des 1800, là. Like, black people.
Did you research that family or just?
Yeah. I knew it because like I speak to my grandmother and she knows it.
She's black. And then your grandmother was fully black?
My grandma, like my dad's side is fully black.
All right.
Like they're just black, but from Canada.
All right, black Canadian.
Yes.
We resolved that.
Yes. Puis de l'autre côté, c'est québécois.
All right, I see.
Hard en plus.
So that's the thing. Like, all right, so if your mom was mixed, your father black.
Yeah.
And then there was like mix. then you're fully mixed, and then your kid, all right, you have a kid?
Now my kid is like straight up Afro-Keb because his mom's Quebecer.
All right.
So it's like, it's the new generation. This is like
that's a new generation.
Of Afro-Keb.
Did you ever see that picture, that National Geographic image of really what they predicted the humans will look like in 50 years? So
the
it's
beige
like,
humans?
a lady that's like really Haitian black, but with blonde hair, but like with curly, thick blonde hair and like gray eyes.
Yeah.
And I believe that's what Quebec is going to be like in
100%.
50 to 100 years.
100%.
So these people are complaining about looks and shit like that. I'm going to give a big props to Quebecers of the future. They're going to love this. Mixing with our cultures, with our race, you're just going to save yourself cost from tanning salon.
Exactement.
You won't need to go there.
Exactement.
Your kids are going to be tan already. We're transferring a wealth.
And then you're like, you can infiltrate different clans, you know?
Exactly.
They don't know, are you black, are you white, are you Spanish, are you Asian? I don't know.
Yeah, like the future, I always said that like the future Quebec is going to be a brown person.
Yeah, I believe it.
Milk chocolate.
That's why I came out with my album Afro-Keb.
Afro-Keb, that's nice.
Because it was important. Parce que c'était comme, premièrement, c'est un terme que genre personne n'avait utilisé avant, qu'on n'avait même pas pensé collectivement comme les Noirs, comme, il y a des Afro-Keb. That's like one thing. And then after that, j'ai juste fait plein de collaborations avec des producteurs de l'ouest de l'Afrique. You know what I mean? Des Caraïbes. So that album came up together like great. Now I'm working on the second one.
Guys, vous savez déjà, on travaille avec les meilleurs. Ici, je vous présente Rosemont. Comme vous le savez déjà, c'est le mois de la Saint-Valentin. Donc, vous avez un couple. Moi, j'ai un cocktail pour vous qui va mettre de l'ambiance au feu. Premièrement, moi, ce que je suis en train d'offrir ici, c'est un martini litchi. Puis, on a des options. Vous avez le gin rose, Rosemont, qui va donner vraiment cette petite couleur rose-là que votre femme va être comme, I like pink. Give me the pink. Ou sinon, vous avez le gin, Madame Gin Amour. Est-ce que vous êtes un fan de chocolat noir? Because it's Black History Month too. Hein? So, vous pouvez préparer lequel vous voulez. Rajouter 2 litchis, ça va être amazing. Vous savez où aller le pogner, donc à la sac. Mais, pour vous, le mois de l'amour, vous êtes célibataire, allez chercher un rum punch parce que ça va faire la fête puis ça vient comme punch. Et vous allez comprendre quand vous allez pop la bouteille. Vous l'achetez dès maintenant, vous avez 500 points sur votre carte Inspire. Je ne sais pas vous êtes rendu à combien, mais moi, je peux avoir des trucs gratuits sur la mienne. J'ai tellement cumulé. Donc, votre prochain Rosemont, c'est la carte Inspire, guys. Swipe it là. Yeah, no, I saw your style. I like your style. What's your inspiration behind your style? Because it's melodic. It's more soul. Well, you have a voice. You can sing.
I'm a rapper.
You're a rapper? You consider yourself?
Because like, c'est comme...
You have a smooth voice.
Pour vrai, si tu penses à tous les rappeurs, ils finissent toujours par chanter. They always finish by singing.
Well, because you need to appeal
create
to
a
that
melody
crowd.
at a certain point.
There's a crowd that wants to hear some
sure.
singing and the versatility behind it too.
So basically, c'est comme ça que genre j'ai commencé à faire mes affaires parce que je voulais avoir des mélodies. Puis back in the day, like rappers would rap. They'd be at Peel Park rapping for hours and hours and hours. And me, I was never like that. I like to go to the studio and like create music, like make a hook, make a verse. On tentait pas de faire des freestyles pendant 90 millions d'heures sur le parc puis battle everybody. That was like exhausting to me.
That's the street like.
But it's a good skill to have. But at the same time, you're not working on actually creating songs that people can keep. You know what I mean? Like
freestyler is a genre in itself and it's a special skill, but it's rarely anyone from that style that makes it to maybe a higher level. A lot of freestylers have punchline, bars after bars after bars, but they can't make an album that's going to be successful.
Non, ils ont vraiment de la misère. So, c'est ça. C'est pour ça que je fais genre chante, mais c'est en cause qu'il faut que tu mettes des mélodies dans tes chansons. Là, oublie ça.
So what are your inspirations?
My inspirations, yeah. Fait que dans le fond, ça commence. My inspiration starts with like MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice.
Okay.
Because like that was like the first concert I've ever seen in my life in Montreal when I was like 3 years old. Then after that, it was like Michael Jackson. Then after that, it was R. Kelly. You know.
So you have like the OGs. I need to ask you, how old are you?
I'm 35.
All right, so we're the same age.
Yeah.
All right, so that's cool because it's not like. Not someone like much younger wouldn't say something like that. Like, I went to those concerts.
No, like, yo, first of all,
Michael Jackson's dead.
I was listening to Tupac when Tupac was alive. I started listening to Tupac when I was in 94. You know what I mean? So I seen Tupac from 94 to 96.
You saw like the real.
Exactly. And you got to keep in mind, I'm in Montreal. There's no internet. You know what I mean? Like, so
it's word of mouth.
It's word of mouth, and I'm also like using my money that I get from Christmas to buy CDs, to buy the Vibe magazines, to buy the double XLs, the sources, magazine
right? Publishing.
And my dad was a DJ too.
Okay.
So, and quand t'es comme Afro-Canadien, what happens is, nous autres, on a toujours gardé des liens avec les Afro-Américains, right?
That's your connection. Like,
because it's like the connection. C'est comme, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know, whatever. It's like France and Quebec. It's like France and Quebec, right? So
cousins. Exactly.
Like, I was always getting the hip-hop, the R&B. Fait que toute ma vie, jusqu'à maintenant, puis là, j'écoute quand même du Kodak Black, you know, Chris Brown. J'ai toujours évolué. I'm always looking for the new music.
Okay, nice.
I love new music.
I think it's important, like, me, I got into music too, like when I was my teenager. That's something, I guess, inspiration where it got me, you know, to let the creativity go. That's why I was a good writer. But I never followed. I was going more into the producing.
Okay.
And that was like really the passion that I had behind the music, the link that, because I wanted to produce a girl that she had an amazing voice, and I felt, you know, maybe we could do something with that.
For sure.
And it's weird because that's what I used to do. We gave up, went to school. After that, you know, life had changed.
Yeah.
And it's funny that today we're back on the mic.
Just like that.
10 years later, back on the mic again.
That's dope. That's dope.
So, I don't know. I guess it's just something that, you know, is attracts you to that kind of
creativity. C'est important, la créativité. You need creativity. Like, it helps you release emotions. It helps you understand your emotions. It helps you reflect on your emotions. Like, all of this is creative stuff. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to have a conversation, but in like 10 years, if you keep having conversations every week, you're going to look back, it's going to look like a diary.
Yeah.
Puis il y a des choses que tu diras pas sur le podcast, mais tu vas te rappeler, genre, OK, je portais ce chandail-là, j'avais ces souliers-là, puis genre, I was going through this in my life. You know what I mean? Like, all of this is like creative stuff. It's great. It's like amazing.
You know, what's amazing is to live in a period of time where we can make a living out of creativity.
Yeah, that's even more amazing.
Because before, like, it was... the possibility to making it was narrow. Like, only 1 in a million maybe, like, could live and be successful out of creativity.
Because they couldn't create content.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, now you have 3 cameras. You know what I mean? Back in the day, getting a camera meant, like, you needed a technician for the camera. You needed camera film. You needed, you know, like, you needed so many things to work that one camera. Creating content was very hard. Là, c'est comme genre, let's go, on en crée. Puis on se fait payer, puis la vie est belle, man.
No, exactly. It's beautiful, and it's beautiful to, once again, to have this kind of lifestyle where we're doing things like that.
Yeah, man.
So, you right now in your music, so how long you been doing it?
I've been making music my whole
seem
life.
Like, your
genre
own
toute
life.
Ma vie, man. Ma mère, c'est une chanteuse, Sylvie Groseillier. Like, she did Belle et Bum, she did, like, a bunch of, she sang for the Queen, she sang at Justin Trudeau's dad's, what's it called, funeral, I think, or wedding, or his wedding. Elle a chanté avec, elle a chanté pour la fête à PKP, you know, like a bunch of different things. She's like the singer
so
of Quebec.
You were brought up into art already, like.
Yeah, man. And my dad was a DJ. He was the first one to bring hip hop, rap, and house music to Saint Laurent, because before it was disco, and they didn't let anybody else play anything else except disco, because house music is a black type of music.
Yeah.
It's like not like that, but back in the 80s and the 90s, that's what it was. So my dad brought that to Montreal because we're Afro-Canadian.
That would be quite interesting to grow up in that environment. Like, I didn't have nothing of that, but I would imagine, because I feel like I want to raise my kids too in an environment where, you know, it's very artistic, where it's fun, where you get to just let your imagination do things. Like, back then we're, I guess, more limited, because I don't know, like, how you grew up, maybe if you had wealth on your roof and things like that. But let's say when you're limited,
middle class ghetto.
We're poor. We're poor. I mean, I wasn't even middle class. We were poor. So, you know, you see you don't have the same tools. And now it's like, you know what, fuck it. To give this space to my daughter, like, yo, you have a space now, you can be creative.
Yeah, that's crazy, though.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. But shout out to the future. And they just won't have to deal with, you know, the financial constraints that we had.
And also, I would say, like, I wouldn't say oppression, but just, like, the limitation of your look. Because over here, like, we're the one, like, doing the move. Like, we're the one employing. Like, and I find that's something, like, we grew up, like, I don't know. Did you ever get discriminated, maybe out of school, work, anything? You said in your family even.
So
racism was there.
This is the thing with racism, right? Comme je te dis, premièrement, I've had people in my family that were racist, right? Mais pas avec nous.
But what kind of racism? Was it just like maybe some dark joke, like
like
joke, like
Hitler posters in their rooms and shit?
Oh, that's still
like
good.
That's like deep racist. You know what I mean? But the thing is, they don't got no problem with us because, and that's how I've been around racist people so much that I know how they operate and I know why they're racist that it doesn't really affect me. It's just like, oh, you're tripping. It's like, you know the saying, don't judge a book by its cover? That's exactly what you're doing. There's like a whole saying, like, don't judge a book by its cover. So if you're judging people by the color of their skin, then we can't, like, connect, and it's fine. Because you can do that with your life. I'm just not doing that with mine.
I agree. And
you know what I mean?
I feel the same way, too. Like, I never played a victim into racism thing, like, even though I got discriminated many times. But once again, I think once you start understanding why the other person is ignorant, at the end of the day, it's not their fault. It's like really how they were brought up. Exactly. So the person behind them is just, they're at fault, yes, but them, they're that way because someone else. So it's just a line of just people. Like, so if those people today are ignorant like that, they're the next person is going to be, unfortunately.
It is what it is.
And I find that when you find like the empathy on them, if you even give them any, maybe you should, because I guess we need to be in maybe the position to, you know, teach, learn new things. Je vous raconte une activité que j'ai faite avec ma femme. Les deux, on a pris un rendez-vous chez iReligion. Puis, c'est le fun parce que c'est des rendez-vous vraiment privés avec un styliste oculaire. Puis, on est juste allé là, puis on a commencé à essayer tout paire de lunettes. Et même le styliste, là, il nous recommandait des trucs. Puis, c'était le fun parce que c'est quelque chose qu'on n'a jamais fait, mais entre couples, on est allé se découvrir, essayer des nouvelles shades parce que, tu sais, on veut rock quelque chose de nice pour 2023. Fait que pour cette Saint-Valentin, vous ne savez pas quoi faire, regardez. Une petite activité que vous pouvez faire, aller booker un rendez-vous avec iReligion, un styliste oculaire. C'est très privé, un bel espace. Il y a à peu près 500 modèles de toutes les sortes. Allez essayer. Puis regardez, utilisez le code promo YELLOW et recevez 50 $ de rabais sur votre prochaine paire. Si vous en achetez un chacun, c'est 100 $ de rabais, guys. C'est comme ça qu'on travaille. C'est comme ça la valeur qu'on amène ici, Yellow Seed, pour vous, guys. Donc, allez booker pour votre couple une activité. C'est le fun, c'est différent. Prenez plein de selfies.
You know what's weird with racism? I don't think anybody like flat out says, I'm a racist. Je vais donner un exemple. Quand je suis là, après que j'ai été suspendu, I'm at the table, right? And one of the ladies tells me, just to let you know, we're not racist. That's exactly what racist people say. We're not racist.
We're not racist.
Right? So it's like...
My best friend's black.
Now the racism is just really, to me, it's a spirit. Like, you just hate me because of X, Y, Z. And it's not my job to figure that one out. I already know what's going on. I already know you don't like me. So I'm going to chuck the deuces, and I'll see you guys later.
See you guys later. You heard that?
You know what I mean? So that's how people should treat racism. But I don't really think like people are like out here actively racist anymore in 2023 because they're scared.
People are
very scared of them losing their jobs.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's the thing. You could lose your job just by saying the wrong shit.
Yeah, for sure. It's wild. So racism, bah, whatever. It's kaput.
I guess, I don't know, like, to me, it just came that at one point you just don't mind anymore. You know it's there, and you just become so independent that it doesn't affect you.
Yes.
Because let's say I've been in a position where I know I didn't get a promotion only because my looks. I know it for a fact.
Yeah.
Impossible, because you told me at the office that, hey, when that position opens up, you're the next one online. So when the position came up, gave it to someone else. Why?
That's some weird shit.
Exactly. Why?
I know. Especially the office life. That life is the worst, yo, because so much snake shit happens and you can't punch anybody. That's what trips me out, is that like people do weird shit in offices and like workspaces, but you can't punch them. Because if you could punch them, they would think twice before doing shady shit. I might get punched in the face. I won't do that. But now it's just like, on va faire des coups sales, man, puis ils pourront rien faire, puis s'ils sont pas contents, you can leave. And that's fucked up.
Should be allowed.
I hate the office life.
A little punch in the... But that's the thing, exactly, because there I didn't get a promotion because someone was in control of my future. That's fucked up.
That is fucked up. It really is fucked up.
And now we're in a position where, you know what, if you go independent, you do what you got to do, and that's why it's beautiful to live in this state where we are, is because we get to make a living out of, let's say, our own skill, our creativity, our art. And you know what? The only limitation I can have because of someone not allowing me to make the next piece is because, let's say, I don't know, I'll take a dumb example. Awards, you get nominated for a prize, and the person, you know, going to favor the other person, not even because the person deserves it, but because, you know, I will favor that. Because we have to be direct with ourselves that there's going to be a lot of favorism at those stages, and who you know will make a big difference.
Absolutely.
Too.
There's a bunch of ass kissing in every type of, especially award, artistic industries. There's so much ass kissing because there's only a select few that are controlling whatever's happening. And I think that's where the main problem is. They should just have like a poll on Twitter, like who's the best artist or who's the and everybody votes. That's where the artist goes. Or you use the blockchain so like people can't vote twice or whatever. There's ways to actually let the people decide who is who and what is what. They don't want to. They can even do that with our tax dollars. They could easily make sure that like, okay, so you do a lot of this. Maybe your money should go to the health sector or the financial sector or whatever it is. Like there's ways to control and let people decide what they want. You know what I mean?
It's not a bad idea. I find that it could be interesting that you just have open polls on everything, right? This is our health system. This is our education system.
You can do it.
This is our roads. This is our tax. This is our military. This is our intelligence, whatever. You just put your coins, your coin, just put your coin where you feel. And at the end, the leader of the country looks at the poll and, all right, so I guess the people have spoken. Yes, maybe a mix of people are more liberal, maybe more conservative, but overall, this is a decision where things are going. More people want this direction, let's say, for our healthcare system, for example.
I'm with that. I think that makes more sense to let the people decide.
Chad Ashe for
mayor.
For president, for mayor.
Start with mayor.
Let's start with mayor. Yeah.
Actually, no, principal. On va commencer directeur, là. That's going to be hard enough, you know?
So you're a teacher.
I am a teacher. I love teaching.
What kind of teacher? What grade?
So basically, I'm supposed to be a English teacher, but I've been a teacher for 5 years, and because of the current state of the education system, I had the chance to do everything, right? Because there's never any teachers. So I subbed in a lot of different grades and a lot of different subjects. Like, qu'est-ce qui arrive, c'est que genre, je peux tout faire au secondaire maintenant. Like, if I have a plan, I'm good to go. We're going to rock the whole year. It's going to be great. I really have a lot of fun chilling with the kids, man. It's like an energy. It's like, imagine being around, like, I don't know. They're just erratic.
What
like
grade?
Kanye. Huh?
What grade? How old are they?
Ça dépend. Ça va 12 à 17. You know what I mean?
Okay,
so sometimes I'm with Sec 5. Sometimes I'm with Sec 1. Sometimes I'm with Sec 2. Last year, I was with Sec 1. I had a blast, man. These kids are going to be great. The kids are great, man. The kids are so dope. It's just that, like, the system always tries to stifle their greatness, you know, instead of, like, blooming. I've seen, like, principals that are scared of students and stuff like that. Like, it's not good.
On a un nouveau sponsor, puis je veux donner un gros shout-out à Prestige Barbershop. Vous voyez ça? Ça, c'est frais de quelques heures. Puis c'est à partir de maintenant, je vous assure que c'est fini les commentaires négatifs en train de parler de Mathias, parce que Mathias va être on point à chaque épisode. Et merci à Angelo Prestige pour vraiment croire en nous, croire le mouvement et nous appuyer. Puis je pense que c'est la meilleure des choses qu'on veut pousser au podcast, c'est qu'entre entrepreneurs, on s'appuie, on va grandir ensemble, on va gagner la course. Et donc, c'est pour ça qu'on est des partenaires de feu. Gros shout-out, Angelo Prestige Barbershop. Pour tous ceux qui sont à Terrebonne, c'est juste à côté. Mais si vous êtes à la Rive-Nord, allez checker Angelo. Le dude, il fait ça depuis tout le temps. La meilleure chasse, comme vous pouvez le voir. Je ne vais même pas essayer de le vendre. C'est déjà disponible. How's the dynamic? Because, you know, it's... Because I try to think of, let's say, back where we went and when we were in elementary school, what kind of dynamic we had. And yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Well, let's say elementary and high school.
What high school did you go to? Did you go to high school here?
I went in New York, half and half. New York, I was in the Bronx. So I did half there, and then the other half at Laval Curie-Labelle.
Okay.
So I only did 4 or 5.
Okay.
It's like 4 or 5.
How was that for you?
It's weird because I need to adapt to a new space. I really speak French, so all right, that wasn't that bad, but my French was still shitty in a French class format.
Like, that's another thing, too, that's crazy, is that we actually, in Quebec, we don't actually speak French, we speak Québecois.
Yeah.
But then we try to teach kids French, but there's no example of it. You know what I mean? So you leave the classroom, puis même les profs parlent Québécois. Like, I can't speak French to save my life. Comme un bon français de France, je peux pas le faire. Because I'm so Quebecer, I can't do it. Like, je peux même pas le faire. si j'essayais, là, genre, oh là là.
Je veux dire en français, celle-là, mais j'ai vu quelque chose dans les nouvelles dernièrement. C'est qu'il y avait, je pense, quelqu'un qui a questionné la grammaire et l'orthographe français. Dans le sens qu'on devrait le moderniser parce qu'en ce moment, apparemment, les statistiques disent que les dictées sont.
Je pense même que tu n'as même plus le droit de faire des dictées.
Parce que people are just. It's not that people are dumb. It's just that we have social media have came to change, like to simplify the way we write.
C'est quand la dernière fois tu écris?
Je pense pas longtemps en fait, mais à part ça, I never write.
C'est ça. Mais imagine-toi que genre au secondaire aujourd'hui, alright?
En lettres attachées,
non, t'es pas obligé de lettres attachées, mais il faut que t'écris. Faut que t'écris.
Yeah.
Do they still teach lettres attachées? Yeah, primaire.
And that's the shit. But like in that article, they were saying that like there's a problem with that. Is the problem is not the kids? Yes, maybe the kids are dumber, but there's just so many different ways, and people are so just more.
No, the kids are smarter. That's the thing.
But all right, they're not dumber, but in a way, they're more distracted by other things, like because it's easier, let's say, for someone to learn another language nowadays.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
So I find that there's a lot of, let's say, French people that do not very master or barely even can speak English, but on social media, they will be all fully English.
C'est bizarre. Je sais parce que j'ai des élèves sur mon Instagram qui, genre, quand ils communiquent, quand ils posent des affaires, c'est en anglais. Mais je les avais dans mes cours d'anglais and they couldn't speak English. And it was really weird to me. In fact, genre, on social media, they're English, but in real life, they're French.
But that's the thing, because you're able to maybe be a different person.
Mais on peur because of the accent.
Yeah, they're going to make fun of. They're not going to.
Who cares about that? Like, fuck.
But that's how you learn. But
that's how you learn. Exactly.
But so that I was saying that in their words, they were saying, yeah, that people are not as, let's say, bright as before, only because they don't know how to write as before. But then again, so the person would suggest is like, maybe, have you guys thought about maybe updating the way we write?
Absolutely.
See, like they were giving an example, like how many O's you can write, how many styles of O?
Yeah, O.
Lettre O, E-A-U, E-A-U-L-T,
O-U-S, like all of them.
It's like, il y a à peu près genre 12 exemples. Like, c'est sûr que tout le monde se mélange.
O,
à partir de maintenant, O. O partout.
And you know what's crazy? L'année passée, à la fin de l'année, ils faisaient une collecte de dictionnaires, man. And I was so pissed because I was like, on est en 2022, puis vous me parlez de dictionnaire, là. Vous êtes comme, on va chercher les dictionnaires. Les dictionnaires? When's the last time anybody used a dictionnaire? You know what I mean? La Russe. Fuck la Russe. You got Google. Like, yo, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. They're just in a weird place. And as you can see right now, I think way different than what's going on, right? So, I'm questioning, like, the heads of departments. Like, pourquoi qu'on a des dictionnaires? C'est quoi la joke? Like, nowhere in the world right now is there dictionaries except a museum. Why do we have dictionaries at school? They have phones. Every kid has a phone. And if they don't, we can probably find them a phone.
We'll give them a dictionary to
we
that
can
person.
find somebody to sponsor us and give us at least phones for kids that don't have phones so they can use phones. Non, ils ne veulent pas penser à ça. Ils veulent penser à collecte pour l'Ukraine.
It's hard. It's hard to see that. Yeah, like, it's a good point. Like, who uses the dictionary? I haven't touched a dictionary.
Exactly.
Il est directement sur Google, là.
Imagine-toi comme, genre, tu t'assis, genre, dans une classe, à la fin d'année, and like you gotta write une composition de 1000 mots avec un dictionnaire. That's whack, bro. It's whack.
Yeah, it's whack.
It's so whack, bro. Genre, je me promène comme surveillant, and I'm like, yo, I feel so bad for these kids. Like, this is not life.
All right, where it's fucked up for the kids is that, all right, we'll take that example, that you need to write an essay. And the kids are quick to search, to find things online.
They can find an
so they can find like their answer in ChatGPT. They can find like their words, their correction, things like that, and write. But since the system hasn't adapted to, oh, you know what, kids are maybe thinking differently, behavior is different now. But let's say they're going to fail a kid. Well, you couldn't adapt to the old school way. Yeah. That you're never going to use for the rest of your life.
No.
And because of that, you're failing grade this exam. And in return, you're just putting pressure, like anxiety, social pressure, like the person just losing self-esteem because, oh, I'm dumb because I failed this French exam, only because I use different methods in order to answer these questions that are going to be as valid in the future of the kid and not like, what do you want me to do with a dictionary?
Yeah, exactly. That's how it is. And I don't know. But I still love being a teacher because, like, the kids' energy is just crazy. It's so dope.
But,
man, what's happening is just, like, terrible.
But I think it's great that you are a teacher and you love being a teacher because based on your mindset, we can already tell that the school needs someone like you. Need that forward thinking of things, sure. Like that openness to
There's
things.
Things that are good, like, for tradition. I get that, like, you need to think. You need to be able to think. So what I would do with my students to make them think is that, like, as soon as they would write something, I would make them think about what they just wrote. What does this sentence mean to you? And they would have to explain it to me. And if they couldn't explain it, then don't put it in your essay. You can't explain it to me. So we would build these little tricks. I would build these little tricks with them to make them think. And that was, like, the most important thing to me because we have so many tools now. Like, back then in 2022, I didn't even have Chat GPT. I couldn't even show them Chat GPT. Now they have Chat GPT. You know what I mean? So it's just like they need to be able to learn how to use these tools. Like, if we were doing an essay in my class, like, a lot of them didn't know how to research information on Google. You know, like, that's weird. Like, to us, it's easy because it's like we didn't have it. So when we got it, we were like, Google infinity, you know? But since you're born and it's just there and you don't really use it, you don't really know how to use it. So
exactly, like,
you know, my point was just to teach them different things that are going to help them in life for real.
Well, the last guest that I had last week, one thing she mentioned, like, she suffered from hyperactivity to the Ashe.
Avec what? Okay, what?
And
everybody's like that though.
Exactly.
Everybody's to the Ashe.
And one thing she's very interesting, and she said, like, because she's pointing, because we're talking about the system, and she mentioned that the school should maybe have a learning way for those people that need to touch, they need to feel things, because that's how they learn. Some people just need to have the thing in their hand, practical.
Yeah, absolutely. And people learn different. Like, there's scientists that spent, like, years researching this. There's people that learn different. We should. Puis en plus, encore une fois, we're in 2023. You can give these kids personality tests and tailor and customize a curriculum for them. You don't have to make every kid go through the same thing. Every kid's different. So why not do a personality test and figure out who is this kid and
put them in the right room.
Exactly.
With other people that, you know, like, can complement.
And do the same thing for the teachers. So you give the teachers the students that will best collaborate with them. But they don't want to do that because it's work and people are lazy. You get what I'm saying?
That's sad.
So you're just there, and I just go through the motions, and I just try to make sure that the kids have the best time possible when they're with me. And we do dope shit. Like, the first thing I do with all my students is that I have an interview with them. They tell me 10 things that I should know about them, and then I question them on these things. But that makes me know that person. You know what I mean? And we create that link, and then we're good for the rest of the year.
Or do you do one-on-one, or everyone gets to hear it?
One-on-one. So I might play a movie, whatever, in class and give them, like, a little work, and then I'll take 2 desks, and we'll go outside, and one by one, they'll pass.
Dang, you're a fun teacher.
I don't care if it takes me 2 weeks to pass everybody. I'm going to pass everybody. I'm going to know everybody.
Until you know.
And that's how it should be. And that's why I got into trouble. I got into trouble for doing that. And I was like, you do not have the human power or the words. You can't assemble the words to make me stop doing this. Because I'm creating real links. Why did you get in trouble for that? Because I'm creating real links with people.
They don't want that.
But to them, it's not people. They're kids.
Do they think, like, you're trying to, like, get into their heads by getting to...
I don't know what they think, and I don't care what they think. What I do know is that what I'm doing is the right thing. You feel me? So I don't really care what they think.
I think it's really important to have individuals like you in school, especially you love your job, because I find that, like, the system seems disappointing. Like, maybe, and I would imagine people that have those jobs, like, at one point must feel just desperate. Like, fuck.
Yeah, the energy's low, man. I go and I'm coming back from workouts. Boom, je me suis pété 60 chest to bar.
Bang.
I'm doing burpees. I'm doing clean and jerks, back squats. I get to school. I'm pumped up. I'm with the kids. The kids are lit. And then I get to the office and, like, everybody's dead.
Everyone's just fucking zombies.
Des estis d'enfants, je suis capable. And it's just like, yo. All
day, every
Like, I don't
day.
chill with the teachers because all they do is talk shit about the students.
Fuck.
And I'm just like, yo, I'm 35. I'm not talking shit about a 12-year-old. I'm not talking shit about a 15-year-old. I'm just not doing it. You know what I mean? I'll go take a walk or something.
So, one thing that brought me to you and is really interesting, you got into a controversy.
I did get into controversy.
All right, to summarize it, you did a music video and someone snitched on you and they said that it's inappropriate.
to this day, I never got a written reason why I got suspended. Like a real, like the reason why.
On
right?
paper, nothing.
Like, nothing.
Just verbal.
Just like I've gotten a suspension letter, but not a clear reason. And what happened was it was unfair. So, you know, a journalist got a hold of the story, which is funny because I got suspended. And then I knew it was kind of unfair. Puis là, j'ai contacté un de mes boys. J'étais comme, à qui je pourrais envoyer un message pour dénoncer genre l'histoire, right? And he tells me, Kevin Calix, send him a message. J'envoie un message à lui, right? Next thing I know, he's like, oh, here's I know a lawyer guy. I'm like, nah, I want to use a platform pour dénoncer, right? So he didn't allow me to have that platform. J'étais comme, all right, cool. But what happened was a journalist found out the story, right? So she posted it in the Chateauguay journalism newspaper. Puis après ça, un de mes anciens étudiants que j'avais fait un one-on-one avec en secondaire 4, he got older and he started working for le Journal de Montréal. So he knew me. Oh. And he was like, yo, c'est impossible, ils te font pas chier. J'apporte l'histoire à qui de charge. So then Journal de Montréal picked it up. And that's when everybody else picked it up. You get what I'm saying? So, again, it goes back to, you know, like, even back to racism, right? You would think that somebody that was black, that was like you, would have your back, but then it becomes all white people that start helping me to get my story out, right? So, to me, racism is a weird concept because sometimes the people that are my skin color are, like, considered black, be doing weird shit, and the people that are not considered black be helping me. So that's how that story got out. Puis après ça, comme we sat down with the school board, and j'ai expliqué mon point de vue, ils ont expliqué leur point de vue, puis ils ont décidé de tout scraper l'affaire, puis là je suis chill, puis they paid me for the days that I was suspended, and you know, they took it out my file, and then we're back to being lit.
So just the negative press they didn't like because they knew it could
The thing is, I explained to them, I'm like, you guys are not protecting me in any type of way, and you guys are not going to play with my name. Because you got to think about this. Moi, j'ai passé, quand j'ai à 23 ans, j'ai décidé, genre, okay, well, fuck this. I'm not going to take my chances in the streets, because one of my boys got locked up for like 5 years. I was like, my boy got locked up for 5 years, so I might as well go to Concordia and get a bachelor's, right? Because it's like, it's the same time that it takes. I have the opportunity, I'm out. I'm going to be the best that I can be. So I went to go get my bachelor's, and you got to understand, like, I'm not, I'm not the best academic person, but I struggled, I worked through it, and I got my diploma. Then I got into the work field, and again, the way you look, I still had the 2 dreads, I still had the high top, the fade, everything, and I had to, like, ease my way into the domaine, tu comprends? And mon premier contrat, la TES, elle me dit, basically, en gros, I'll summarize, she's telling me, we have our eyes on pimps in this school. So just know that. Saying that, like, oh, like, you might be a pimp, right? Whatever. Who cares? Why? So this is how I got to maneuver in the school.
You got hoes.
I got hoes.
Different area codes.
Basically, I had to maneuver a certain way. And then when they started playing with my name on paper, this is when I was like, I got to go all in on these fools because you cannot play with my name. I work too hard. I have my intentions are not good. They are like what I'm doing I know is good because I get the feedback from the students. I never had any beef with no student. And I truly feel like that's my calling, to be a teacher and to be an artist. So I had to defend myself. And at the same time, I'm giving an example to the kids that if people play with your name, you got to defend it. You get what I'm saying? People play with your name, you got to defend it. And they can never look at me and be like, he doesn't do what he talks about. I always do what I talk about. And that's proof. It's on Google.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
That's what's up. Congrats for that one. I think that's a good sign of really an example of fighting through the system.
Yeah, man.
And I find we could be in a position where we can inspire other people. Same thing for me or anyone. Like,
yeah, congratulations, because I know the hustle, and I know that you're going independent. You're not begging for a seat at the table like a lot of people are doing, which is terrible. And
it's unfortunate. And I try to educate that, you know what? Like, they don't give you a seat at the fucking table. Build your own table.
Absolutely. And you gotta keep in mind, like, I look at Natif TV, and to me, I think it's trippy because you gotta think about France and Quebec, the relationship between France and Quebec, right? We'll break it down like this. So you got the French that send toute la rapace française au Québec, right? So all the unwanted people, they send to Quebec, just like the English did with Australia. Then you have the revolution, the ultimate revolution of the Atlantic slave trade happening in Haiti, where they fight the French, defeat the French, become independent. Then the French sanctions them, right? And then it's sad to see that their descendants come to Quebec and beg for a seat at the table avec la rapace de la France. So to me, is when black people are not independent, I feel like you're disrespecting your ancestors because they fought, they spilled blood, they fought tooth and nail. You know what I mean? For just so their ancestors, their descendants could go and disrespect their whole legacy. And that's one of the reasons why I couldn't let them play with my name, because I knew that my ancestors took way bigger chances. They left the States and came to Canada. If you got caught, the whole family dies. You know what I mean? There wasn't no like, oh, where you're getting deported back to Africa. No, no, no. Your whole family dies. And then if you make it to Canada, you got to survive the cold.
That's true. Like,
you know what I mean? So to me, fighting for my name was nothing. Jesus carried the cross, bro. He knew he was going to die. He's the son of God. He carried the cross. You think I can't go through the flames with the education system? Nah. So when I see other black people, and especially that I'm from Haitian descent, it hurts my heart because it's like you're disrespecting your ancestors because you're begging for a seat at the table avec les rapaces des Français. And then you're trying to go to France when they don't fuck with you. So why are you fucking with them? Respect your ancestors. You know what I mean?
Strong words. It's a big message too. I support a lot of what you're saying. That's why we have to keep pushing in what we do. And I'm glad I had a conversation. Understand furthermore, really the ambition behind that move. I spoke my words that what I find that being independent is the best shit because this is what we're building right now. There's so much liberty, and I'm not necessarily running after being in the seat. Because one of the big questions I asked them is that, how does it feel like, let's say you get it, how does it feel to go in bed with someone that doesn't want you in bed?
It's rape.
Damn.
That's
you
rape.
know what? When you see it that way, it's like, it's kind of that. And to me, like, you know what? I support the movement, though, because
Me too. I signed a petition. I'm not a hater.
Exactly.
Yo.
Cheers, man. But I think it's, we have similar goals. We are in this world where we trying to make our name for ourselves.
Yeah.
That's your mission, bet. I support anyone that have a mission, especially when this mission is orientated towards, us being even a bigger person and going facing, let's say, this other superpower that's not, it's not necessarily, I can't point the finger to white people, but just that superpower of a system that's just rigged to always dictate shit the way it is.
Right, let me break it down like this, right? So you got to understand, racism becomes weird because it's like, especially like I'm going to speak for like from the perspective of a black person. When you're looking at racism from like a historical point of view, you're thinking about the States. Think about African Americans that were taken from West Africa and brought to America in order to work the fields, right?
Yeah.
And then they didn't have that opportunity to build the wealth because the people that brought them never wanted them to surpass like their wealth, obviously, right? If you look at anybody, we've seen this happen with Kanye. If they want to take it away from you, they do, right? Jay can't even buy Ace of Spade. They don't even want to sell it to him, even though he has the money, right? Sorry about that. In America, black people are different. African Americans and racism, they have a different relationship. When you're talking about Canada, unless you came through the Underground Railroad, this has nothing to do with you. Because chances are your parents came here through Air Canada. They didn't come here through a slave boat. They didn't come here illegally, unless they came here illegally. But most of the people, they came here through Air Canada, so you wanted to come here. White people don't owe you nothing. This is not America. This is Canada. In the States, if you're African American, white people do owe you something the same way they owe natives something. And it's like, white people, these are people that are coming from European descent, and they would have profited off of it. Either they had a sugarcane field or a cotton field, and now they're still rich because of it. You should pay something to black people. And even at that, it's been so long, how do you even determine black? If you're 25% black, should you get money from reparations? We don't know. This is like a really hard philosophy.
Yeah, that's a slippery slope, I would say, because...
But in Canada, white people don't owe black people nothing, especially if your parents came here through Air Canada. Like, don't cut that shit out because they didn't ask you to come here. They didn't force you to come here.
That's true. But the thing about Canada is just too much influence by America. So
Yeah,
they
definitely.
try to be
They try, but it's
they
not
try
it.
to be really... I do understand that point. This is excellent in terms of... but be as a Latino, like, we're all in the same, like... perspective as in the States or as here in Canada. You just, let's say that population just fled dictatorship.
Yeah.
And that's true.
And that's like a whole other story.
Air Canada, like through plane. And that's why the prideness that I have is knowing that my mother did a leap, gave up everything that was over there, struggle as a single mother, poor, uneducated, with no resources, with a little boy, and trying to, like, you know, give him a better future.
Absolutely. And you're doing the same for your daughter, so that's amazing.
Exactly. So that's why, like, I feel like, and that's a message
and
that
you're doing
pushed.
it independent. That's why I fuck with it so much, because you're doing it independent, and you don't have that vision of you owe me something because you're you and I'm me. You know what I mean? You, it's like, yo, I'm grabbing, I'm taking, I'm building.
We're making our own place. Like
that's amazing, man. That's beautiful.
I
Like,
want this name to be on top of a fucking building, like as
will.
all these other, because you know
we're
making
stop you.
exactly. And you see, once again, like that's why when I see other Latinos that went through that phase, that same immigration phase that came in Canada, and I see them not doing shit with their life, I'm disappointed because I know we come from the same background, the same bullshit. Your fucking parents struggled. They didn't want to fucking come here. They came here because they didn't have no choice. Over there, people are killing people.
Yeah, man.
And then you lazy as fuck today. That shit disappoints me.
I feel you.
And I find like...
I feel you.
And I find that, you know what? We become in a position where they won't do it. I always felt here in Montreal, there was a vacant seat of, let's say, someone like me.
Yep.
Anybody could have taken that vacant seat and, you know, build something that's going to, you know, bring other people, you know, get along the ride. I always felt like, fuck, nobody's taking that seat. I've never seen anyone. I never had growing up here an inspiration of who could be, you know, that dude that I can relate. That's my same story.
There was none. And every single person that was there before, like, let's just say this time, like the mid, like 2015 and beyond, they always try to play like gatekeepers. Oh, only certain immigrants and people can play the face. Because you got to keep in mind, I've seen this happen since the mid-90s because my mom was a singer. So I've been around in Normand Bratouet, les Luc Merville, like all these people that were like influencers back in the day. I've seen how they react, and it's never like, yo, the door's open, let's go through the door. It's always like the guest list. Like, is your name on the guest list? No. Do you have tickets? No. All right.
And that's what we said earlier. We said, like, it's about a network to who you know.
It is about who you know. You know what I mean? And but now there's so many, there's like different possibilities. Before it was just like one avenue. If you wanted to create content, you had to go pick up Payway. You had to go through Québecois, you know? Now you don't have to do that. And like, not only that, they're using our système qui est désuet. Like, I don't chill and watch TV. I don't know anybody that's just like...
I don't know anyone who does that. I wouldn't never put $1. Like, when they offer me, oh, you want free cable?
No, I don't want free cable. There's IPTV.
Fuck, you want to do that?
What am I
Netflix,
doing?
that's it.
What am I doing with this?
And like, Netflix and YouTube. I don't need anything else.
Absolutely. So, you know, I think they're just fighting a battle that seems so ridiculous. And
I find there's some ego involved into it because, like, you know, I want to show that we could do this. Of course, but, I mean... Ego is a killer of inspiration or just growth.
Ego serves its purpose, but it's not good. I don't know what
you need just enough ego just to be that motherfucker who's gonna...
I think you need ego as a shield when people try to play with you. You know what I mean? Like, you got to remind yourself who you are in order... Like, in combat, you can't go in combat, like, feeling weak. You got to have a little bit of ego, you know what I mean?
Say with your chest.
But exactly, right? But that's about it. But when it comes to like illogical thinking, like, what are you doing right now? Like, to me, like, every time I move, I'm thinking like, yo, there's like hundreds of thousands of years behind me of ancestors. I can't disrespect them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how I be moving in, like, in my head when I take decisions, big decisions. So to me, it's just like, I have a hard time relating to anybody, like, because it's just like, I wonder where their intentions are and what they want to do. Even like with like Videotron and Pick Up It, like, why are you holding on to this medium so bad instead of trying to explore the new shit? You know, like, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes I see the magazines Vero at Super C and Maxi, and I'm like, how? Who's buying this?
Who the fuck is buying?
Who's buying? Like, why are you guys pumping money into this? There's like a whole wealth of creativity happening in Quebec, and this is what you choose to pump. Like, you're wasting money. Like, it just doesn't even make sense. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
everything's weird. Like, on both ends, it's weird. It's just like a weird situation that I'm looking back and I'm like, this is absolutely outrageous. Like, this is crazy.
It's a pissing contest, but just for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
Because, like, at the end of the day, you're not getting nothing out of what you're doing. I'd rather have a contest, something else that, you know, going to elevate us.
Oh, they want the grants. They want the grants, man.
But that's once again, hustling for that kind of money, I find it's just an old way of thinking. There's so many other resources and other in order to hustle your way to the top. And so far, you know what? I'm doing something. Like, I'm getting myself there on my own, and I'm trying to build a system where I don't need to depend on that money.
You don't.
I find this is the real fucking definition of self-made. Like,
because then you can take yourself out of Quebec. You can push to Ontario. You can push to Newfoundland. You can push to Vancouver. You can push to the States. You can push to the UK. You can push to France. You can do whatever you want instead of just being like, mais il faut vraiment que ça soit en français. You know what I mean? Like, ou genre, c'est même pas le français qui est le problème. C'est vraiment comme this whole.
It's the state where we are. It's the problem. These rules.
Let the art flow. Let the content go.
To be honest with you, français c'est pas le problème. Je regardais les stats dernièrement, guys, puis quelque chose que j'ai découvert, que j'ai aimé, c'est que, tu sais, Yellow Sea Podcast est en train de vraiment développer en Europe, dans la francophonie du monde.
That's amazing.
And that's where I came to realize something. It's like, oh, shit. Like, because initially, it's to promote, let's say, local entrepreneurs, local hustlers. But now, our topic is so relatable that the local factor doesn't matter anymore. Like, anyone from, as long as you speak French, you will relate to the content we're saying because the reality is the same in the other places. So that's why I feel like that it's fun to see that looking at the stats, comme, oh shit, la France commence à nous écouter, la Belgique commence à nous écouter, Guadeloupe nous écoute.
That's hella dope.
Dans une statistique, la 5e ville qui nous écoutait le plus, puis je parle pas genre 10 personnes sur genre, qu'est-ce qu'on a quand même une bonne chunk. Port-au-Prince, je suis comme, oh shit,
Port-au-Prince, shout out to Port-au-Prince,
yeah,
man.
It's like...
Big Zoes.
So shout out to my Haitians, like
for real, because like Haiti's mash up right now, man. Haiti's crazy right now.
It's unfortunate. One thing I'm glad, like now, like my family is growing to be as Haitian too. My wife is half Haitian. Yeah.
Okay.
So like Haitian is in the family, so I relate 100% into the culture.
That's dope.
We eat the same shit anyway.
I would like to go to Haiti one day, but it's too crazy, and I don't know anybody over there.
But that's the thing too. We went to Dominican Republic, and at one point my wife asked me like, "Hey, we should go to Haiti." And the thing is that her family there is like in a good position.
Yeah,
good people, like businesses and things like that. They have hotels
for sure.
But to me, where I didn't feel comfortable is that, all right, she said, "Oh, but don't worry about it. We'll have guards." But that's a problem. I don't want to go to vacation somewhere where I need to have a guard, even though it's going to bring us safety. But why do I need the guard in the first place? Unfortunately, I cannot commit to this trip.
I absolutely understand.
I want to go somewhere where I don't need guards.
Exactly. I feel you 100%. That's why I've never been to Haiti. That's why I've never been any place where I feel I need a guard or a gun. I avoid those places. I
lived in the hood, and it's not fun to be on your guard.
No, exactly. When I used to party a lot, I still party a lot, but when I used to recklessly party, I'd never go to places where I knew that I might need a gun. If I need a gun or a knife or a bat, I'm not going to these places.
You're blessed because in New York, going to school, I needed to worry.
Yeah,
on my way to school, I needed to fucking worry about.
New York is a whole different place. That's what I mean. Like, Montreal. It's like, it's not even comparable to the crazy shit that's happening in the States.
And it's funny to see that I met people here. Like, I grew up teenage there, and I've met people here that, I want to go live to New York. Like,
Man.
You sure? Like, I'm from the Bronx. All right, maybe if you live, but you need money to live in New York.
Yeah, you need a lot of money.
To be in a good lifestyle that you see on television. If not, you're just going to end up in the hood. And
you need a solid $250K
a
year. You need a solid $250K American a year.
$250 approximately. That's like
to just be like living normal in Montreal.
Yeah,
like, with a nice car, with a nice place.
Yeah,
and not a house, just a fucking hole in the wall. Studio apartment in Manhattan.
Yeah, if you live in Manhattan, unless you go to Westchester, upstate, and get a crib, but you're like an hour and a half away.
Exactly.
Train, car.
Exactly.
Stuck in commute.
No, man, people don't understand how good we have it here. Like, and even in like, what I love about Quebec is even when you're broke, you can still live. You know what I mean? Like, in the States,
so much facts.
In the States, if you're broke, you can't live, man. Like, you can't eat. Yeah, for sure.
Want to get punched?
Yes. You know what I mean? So, shout out to Quebec.
That's the thing. We love to bash this shit here, but I keep telling people, yo, guys, you don't know like how blessed we are, because after living on the other side, and here, like one thing, bro, I got a bachelor degree here. I would have never got a bachelor in New York.
Nah, man, that would have cost you like $100K.
And not enough ambition over there.
Got $100K, bro.
I paid $12K.
Yeah.
$12K, that's how much it cost me to get
that's a joke.
A nice diploma at Montréal on
that's
my
a
wall.
Joke. That's
and to show it to my mom, she was happy. She was like, shit.
That's why I went back to school, because I was like, yo, we have the cheapest tuition in all of North America, and my ass is not in school. I'm out here partying every day of the week. This is madness. I'm behaving like a monkey. Can't do that shit. So, I had to get my ass back in school, bro.
I find it's a nice experience, and there's this generation right now, like, you don't need school to be rich. Like, I find that people need to stop that mindset of being rich. Being rich is a byproduct. If you play your cards right, being rich is a byproduct of following, let's say, your passion, being independent, doing what you have to do, working on your creativity. And, like, if you work out of passion, money will come. Absolutely. So when I hear these young kids like, you don't need to go to school to be rich, we understand that shit. Entrepreneurship will allow you to do that. However, one thing that school has brought to me is not like the marketing that I know how to do. It's rather the how to work with people, being structured, organization, understand numbers. Let's say these are certain things that social skills that, let's say, in other setting, in a professional setting, these skills like work, because you get to know, you can have a smart conversation. Yeah. There's some opportunities also that I could only have because I went there, not because that was a requirement.
The social aspect of going to university.
Because you bought yourself, you bought your education a fucking BMW over here. That's what you get. I should say, that's what it's assimilate to a luxurious car.
And even like, let's just say, you're an entrepreneur and your business fails, right? Because it happens, right? If you have a diploma, you can always go work in that field for a year, get money in order to reinvest back into your business. But if you don't have that diploma, like, it's kind of hard to get a job that's going to be paying that much. But even at that, même si tu as fait un DEP in like sales or whatever, you still need to go to school to know how to do it. And there's nothing wrong with going to school, because people can't take diplomas away from you. They can take a lot of shit away from you, but they can't take your diploma away from you.
But in that same discussion, like, one thing I felt I've reached a certain level where I told myself, like, shit, I will never go broke, because only you just know so much skill, you just have so much experience and knowledge, and you have a piece of paper that is going to give you a bare minimum.
It's funny,
even that.
It's funny you say that. That's how I started my dreads.
Nice.
The day that I figured out, like, I'll never go broke because the jewelry's in me. Like, I'll always be able to, like, because for a long time, that was a fear of mine. Like, I was just like, yo, like, sometimes I'd go broke, and then I'd be sad, and then I'd be like, faut que je me trouve un job. Gotta work the fucking phones, customer service. I hated it. But then after that, once I started going to school, started doing CrossFit, and then I started like, you know, becoming a CrossFit coach, and then I didn't have to do the call center thing anymore. And then I could see that like, okay, so I'm gonna get this bachelor's, my CrossFit's paying for my bachelor's, and then I'm gonna start DJing now. So then the DJing money is gonna pay for my lifestyle. And then when I get out of university, I won't have no debt because I'm in Quebec, which is the bachelor's gonna cost me like $12K.
Yeah, $12K.
So I'm gonna be good. And then I'm going to be a teacher, so I'm going to make more money than what I was doing with CrossFit, but I'll still do that on the side. And now I'm going to start recording for real because I don't have to rely on other people's funds.
Bang.
You know what I mean? So
it's a nice plan.
Shout out to that. Shout out to my dreads.
It's a nice shout out to the dreads. Big respect.
You know?
One thing I like about you, and I feel like, you know, this guy's a challenger into there, and what appeals to me to you is your fitness side. What are some of the titles you put, like the fittest rapper?
I'm definitely the fittest rapper.
Oh.
I don't think nobody in Canada can see me when it comes to like fitness. I don't think in Canada. Nah.
The fittest rapper.
Shout out to Drake, the 6th guy, but he can't see me in the gym. For sure not. I don't see anybody, no rapper can see me in the gym.
You are a beast, and I was like, all right, this dude's impressing. I like that shit. He's going hard.
Yeah, because it's important. It's important, like, because what happened was I seen where artists go. Because I've been watching music for so long, like I seen like, let's just say like I'm thinking about like an old rapper that I could name. It's not too bad. Anyways, I see the old rappers and how it degrades. Yeah, when they get into the 30s and 40s, it's just
they drink,
like,
they eat, and just get
terrible,
fat.
Right? So to me, it was just like, it was always important for me to stay fit. And I won't even lie, my mom brought me to a CrossFit class and she beat me, bro. Oh, and that was terrible. Oh, because you know
that's all right. So your mom.
No, that was terrible, bro. Like, okay, I came from playing.
Your mom is fit too.
Yeah, she's fit. She's fitter than like most men.
Shit, I would imagine.
And yeah, so she brought me to the class, bro. And I was like, I'm not leaving the gym until I beat my mom. And then after that, I was to a point where I was like, I'm not leaving the gym until I beat all of these girls, because there's no way I'm gonna come to this gym and these girls are gonna be outfitting me. And then it just came to a point where I was just beating the dudes, and then I started doing competitions, and then I just like got into a comfort zone where I was just like, all right, I'm gonna beast. And by that time, I'd already been like 8 years deep, and then I started making music, and then I realized, shit, on some real shit, I'm the fittest. I'm like the fittest rapper there is. Like, there's no fitter rapper.
No, I like that, and I like that energy you put off from that, because me too, I feel the same way. I notice like people as men, when they get into families or this and that, they degrade, like they get slappier.
It's terrible.
And to me, myself, nah, I'm not gonna fit that mold.
Cheers
I just need to be fucking.
Cheers to fit.
I need to be fit. I need to be fit. And right now it's crazy. I just turned 36. I'm at my fittest that I've ever been. My body's tight. I'm slim. I'm tight.
Ready for the beach 24/7.
Yo, the cardio is on point.
Yeah.
Heart is pink.
That's
I would
beautiful.
assume, but it's beautiful. And that's one some shit I encourage many people. Yo, get into the gym. That's what I preach. I do 3 things on my fucking social media. Talk about the studio, talk about food, drinks, and fucking gym. That's it.
Man.
You don't see nothing else on my social media.
Basically, that's what it is.
Try to find like, this guy has family or not.
No. I try to keep my family off the media. My son, actually, I try to keep him off the media, but
yeah, me too. You never seen him. I never seen him. Nah. You never seen my kid.
No. It's good. It's good.
People
like
don't even know. And it's like, you want to know about my personal life? Listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
That's why I talk the most. And I'm comfortable to, because we're talking. It's an honest conversation.
Yes.
We're not trying to prove something out of here.
Absolutely. Nah, there's nothing to prove, but
the dick's already long.
But nah, man, fitness is it's a great thing, and a lot of people should do it because it helps you not think about anything. There's sometimes I'm in workouts, like this morning I was doing a workout and I wasn't thinking about anything, man, and that's like bliss. I have j'ai une tâche à faire, c'est tout, genre bang. And
but you work out at home.
I got a gym at home, yeah.
Yeah.
I just bought a crib.
In the garage.
Yeah, so basically, I bought a crib in.
Nice.
I bought a crib out the way, and we turned the garage into a gym, a CrossFit gym. So I don't have. The only thing I don't have is like a rope climb. Like I need 20 feet.
Yeah.
But I don't like my ceiling's not high enough. Next house, and then yeah. So I train every day, mostly every day.
Every day.
Yeah, and I have like my whole setup, and I compete. You know what I mean? It keeps your mind sharp. And
what's your eating habit like?
My eating habits. I mostly, I don't exaggerate, but I eat what I want. You know what I mean? Like, if I have a poutine one day, I'll probably
So you're not strict about, oh, I need to one cheat meal? Like,
because, like, you got to understand, like, what I do, if you've ever watched CrossFit, like, it's so extreme that I need the calories. I can't, like, go on a diet and just, like, no carbs. No. Like, I need that shit because I'm out here rowing 250 calories and I'm doing, like, 1 trillion pull-ups and I'm doing, you know, over snatches that are, like, 205 pounds. Like, I'm doing a lot of shit that requires a lot of things from my body, and I need the energy. You know what I mean?
So you don't limit yourself. You're responsible with no limitation.
Exactly. I'm responsible with no limitation. So I'm having a drink on a Wednesday.
You see? That's great. I feel the same way, too.
You do the same thing?
I eat poutine. I eat a pizza once a week. It doesn't stop me, honestly.
And I like it.
It doesn't look like I'm not going to stop. Like, I did do some diet once. It's cool when you're younger and you're trying to impress something or whatever. But at this stage, like, look, I feel my best ever.
Yeah.
And I'm just living very regular, but once again, responsibly.
Yeah, it's just being responsible about what you eat. But, like, it's very easy, man. If you eat things that grew, it had eyes, on the outside of the grocery store, so milk, cheese, whatever, the more that it's processed, the more it's bad for you. If you grab things that are natural, you can eat as much as you want.
That's a challenge.
And that's it. And it is a challenge because you don't know where your meat's coming from. And it's like, this is another great thing about Quebec. We have our own meat. So you can go to places like local farms, like just outside of the city and go get your meat and it's fresh and it tastes good and it's not like from Mexico.
I think I'll do it. I'll try it like this summer. There's a farm not too far from because where I live, like 15 minutes away, you're really like in farmland, and I saw some of these spaces where you could go like fresh steak. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, man. I live in like in a similar place, but on the South Shore. You know what I mean? So like, there's farms next to where I live, and yo, in the winter, in the summertime, it's lit, bro. Like my house is pumping with food and like vegetables, and like it's just great. Like we're having a blast. Champagne every day.
Champagne, that's true. Talk about champagne. We have something in the freezer.
Yes, we do.
Hey, Chad. It was a pleasure. It was
really a pleasure.
It was a pleasure. Shit flies.
I know.
Shit flies. But hey, thank you for coming, brother.
Thank you for having me.
Happy to have this conversation. I think we touched some very interesting points, and I find that people are going to get interested about this conversation.
I hope so. Because it's just real shit. I don't think I lied.
I don't think you did. I felt your energy. I was like, he doesn't care. He said what he had to say.
Oh, for sure.
And you seem like you really, that you hold to your point.
And you know what? And I really hope that like everybody says what they have to say constantly, and they never hide who they are, because that doesn't work. And congratulations on your new moves, and
thank you.
You know, just pure success for 2023 and beyond, bro.
Yeah, for sure. This is where we're going. Thanks to the partners. Thanks to our guests. Yellow Sea Podcast, guys.